All right, Shalom. This is another sit down lesson that I want to bring out of the updates of the wars and rumors of wars news updates as of July the 20th, 2026, on this Monday afternoon. So, with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kadash. In the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Velociraptor story tongue, and I say Barakathon to the elders and apostles, Wa'aki and Wa'akwa, and I say Shalom. And as I mentioned again, this is a quick sit down lesson of the wars and rumors of wars, news updates, July the 20th, July the 20th, 2026, on this Monday afternoon. Now, it says, as meeting in D.C., Rubio lauds Lebanon's president ongoing push for disarm Hezbollah. Now, even though they're trying to push forth this army Hezbollah, now you got the new leader. I think a new leader was selected from Hezbollah as of today, and I believe he was pushing forth. They're not going to give up their weaponry. They're going to continue to push forth resistance against the Israel Defense Force, even though Lebanon and Israel are in discussions trying to push forth withdrawing some troops from the security zone areas in Syria and Lebanon, and the Golan Heights in that area. Because it says U.S. indicates Lebanese armies deployed into block zone, including one IDF will withdraw from. Because I think it was a news article, was that yesterday, that they were saying potentially that Hezbollah, they might have escalation between the Lebanese armies. Now that some of those block zone, security zone areas that the Israel Defense Force was at, they're going to potentially withdraw them from there, and they're going to have the Lebanese armies in that area. So that potentially might start more tension between the Lebanese armies and the Hezbollah armies. So that lets you know if that's the case, clashes might continue to heat up, despite the fact they're trying to push forth deals and trying to escalate the tensions between both sides, between the border regions of Lebanon and Israel, and Iraq and Syria, and those regions, and the Golan Heights regions. Because you still got the Israel Defense Force, they still gonna be on high alert, despite the fact that we're having these talks of Lebanon and Israel been meeting at Washington D.C. It says Lebanese president heads to D.C. to meet Trump for the first time since 2009. I didn't know that. I thought he had met him recently, or it was probably just, or unless it was just probably just the people from the representations from Lebanon. I didn't know the president met with, the Lebanese president met with the president of the United States. I thought he would have met him already. So this is a Lebanese president, first time meeting at the White House since 2009. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It says Trump vows Netanyahu will not be arrested while visiting, despite Mamdani's wishes. Right, because you got the mayor of New York. He's a Muslim mayor. It said because you've been having tension between the mayor of New York and Benjamin Netanyahu. He was throwing out there potentially that if Benjamin Netanyahu visited over there in New York City, they might potentially arrest him. So Trump vows Netanyahu will not be arrested while visiting U.S. despite Mandan's wishes. It says the U.S. president warns Iran will pay many times over every American soldier is unalive. Yep, so that's what you call wars, rumors of wars. So check out some more news articles. Check out theparty.com. It says, oh, that was previously. And this is as we've been seeing the tension heating up between the Ukraine and Russia. It says at least five civilians was unalive in a Ukrainian drone strike on a bus. The latest kamikaze UAVs attacks on Belgrade region also injured 20 other people. A Ukrainian kamikaze drone hit a passenger bus in the town of Shebalakiel in the Russian Belgorod region on Monday, unaliving 5 people, injured more than 20 others. Acting governor has said, "Got wars and rumors of wars between Russia and Ukraine, which we so used to hearing about. So those tensions are only going to escalate. So let me check out some more news articles. Let's see. Go to Al Jazeera. It says breaking. It says Trump threatens more attacks on Iran if soldiers are unalive. It says Jordan says 3 missiles launched from Iran was intercepted. It says at least one person was unalive in an Israeli drone strike in the central Gaza. Right. So despite 3 weeks ago, or almost a month ago, I would say, ever since the United States made that post, what's it called, that peace broker. Ever since they had that peace broker deal, but you still got the Israeli Defense Force continually using airstrikes over there in Gaza, especially as of recent for the past, I would say, for the past couple of weeks. Because tensions been escalating, because you've been having back and forth, on and off clashes, which been going on for quite a while between the resistance of the Palestinians clashing against the Israel Defense Force, which this is nothing new. But they're going to continue to use airstrikes over that area, despite the fact they had a peace program there. It says 17 minutes ago, Israeli forces yet to withdraw from southern Lebanon, a town, says officials. Right, they're going to have some, I would say some a partial withdrawal, but there's going to be some still there and some going to be partially withdrawn. And that's why they got the Lebanese armies entering in there. Yeah, it says Lebanese military starts a plot zone takeover in the south. If that's the case, once they start to do that, that lets you know potentially that the Hezbollah armies are going to be clashing against the Lebanese armies, despite the fact they trying to push for a peace deal. Because the Apostle Paul says, what's that, First Thessalonians 5, verse 3, for when it shall say peace and safety, such destruction come upon them as a terrible child shall escape. It says, right, this is from the top headlines, even though I spoke about this yesterday. It says the Houthis, the Saudi Arabia. It says what to know, right? Because for the past week and a half, tensions been sparking back up between the Yemenis, the Houthi rebels, Iran back group over there in Yemen versus Saudi Arabia, because they've been having clashes back in 2014, 2015, 2016, and back in 2022, ever since they had that peace agreement between one another back in 2022, which is 4 years ago. Now potentially that trust agreement between the Saudi Arabia and the Houthi rebels, that ceasefire that trust agreement might break. I just want to add a side note to that for edification's sake. It says Yemen. This is from Al Jazeera. It says Yemen's Houthis declare a naval blockage of Saudi Arabia. What to know? It says Yemen group says they announced equation of a eye. Yeah, they want an eye for eye with the Saudi Arabia army, which they previously did. Because previously you had the, I would say, the United Arab Emirates coalition groups with the Saudi Arabians and the Yemen government troops as well too versus Yemen previously before. So that might get back to that point once again. It says the Houthi leaders in Yemen has declared a naval blockage against Saudi Arabia effectively immediately. It says the announcement on Monday came days after the group officially known as the Ansar al-Allah threatens a siege of Kingdom of retaliation for a attack on Senia International Airport, right, which they did that. It says the action marks a new phase of a long-running war between the Iran-backed Houthis and the Saudi-led coalition, which has been backed by the Yemen's internationally recognized government since 2015. Come as the United States and Iran continue fires of many of their escalations have rattled the global energy market. Here's what you should know. It says what have the Houthis announced. It says in their statement, the Houthis said American embargo was based on the equation of an eye for eye and informing the right of a great people to respond to the blockage with a blockage half, all escalations with a escalation. It says the group sieged Yemen's capital Sana'a back in 2014, accusing Saudi leaders of imposing an unjust, oppressive siege nearly 12 years, plundering our resources and imposing comprehensive blockage on our ports and airports by land, sea, and air. It says the Houthis also expressed complete readiness on all for all options and warned that any foolish Saudi act will be met with comprehensive, decisive response. Let the weak sound strong. A third chapter. So there's tension between the Saudi Arabia armies and the coalition forces with the Yemenis army government going against the Houthis might heat back up once again, like I mentioned before. And this is Joel chapter 3 verse 9. This is the prophet Joel chapter 3 verse 9. It reads, wait for it to load up. This is the prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. It reads the Holy Scriptures. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near them come up. Right, so let all the men of war draw near them come up. As we see once again, rising tensions over there in the Mediterranean Sea, over there in the Red Sea, over there in Yemen. Tensions are heating back up in the Strait of Hormuz. Tensions might heat back up over there in the borders of Lebanon and Israel, despite the fact they're trying to push forth withdrawal of the IDF soldiers. Now they got the Lebanese soldiers coming in that different zone area, security zone areas over there on the borders of Lebanon and Israel. And then you got the Russian-Ukraine situation that's intensifying. So these are signs what you call wars and rumors of wars heating up on a day-to-day basis. Even though it's been on and on back and forth, now it's heating back up once again. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? The armies of the other nations prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw and come up, because they still gonna be gathering up over there in Western Asia. Divide Jehoshaphat, Armageddon, Armageddon, the armed of mountain troops. Joel chapter 3, verse 10, beat your plowshares and the swords and plenty us into. It said, beat your plowshares and swords into plenty us into spears, let the weak sound strong. Right, so the Yemen Houthis, they say they want to meet eye to eye with the Saudi Arabia army and their coalition forces of Yemen, the Yemen government armies, and potentially with the IDF or Great Britain as well too. I won't be surprised that heat back up once again as well too, because you've been having like in the Mediterranean Sea, you've been having the Houthi rebels been using airstrikes and oil tankers, just like they did the blockage of the oil tankers for the Saudis from entering into. So I won't be surprised they do that over there in the Mediterranean Sea as well too, which they previously did against anybody that's allies with the United States armies, with Great Britain and the Israel Defense Force. So I won't be surprised they go intensely against them as well too, targeting oil tankers that usually rerouted a couple of years back. So I won't be surprised that heat back up once again as well too. It says, beat your plowshares and swords and plenty hooks into spears, let the weak sound strong. Yeah, that's the Houthi rebels, the proxy groups and pro-Iran groups. And that's let the weak sound strong. That's what we see. So this is the book of Revelations, verse 14, that I'm closing out. This is Revelations 11, verse 14. It says the second will pass, behold, the third will come quickly. Right, so the second will pass, behold, the third will come quickly. So this was just a quick sit-down lesson of the wars and rumors of wars as of July the 20th, 2026 on this Monday afternoon. So hopefully this is edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakab, Kadash, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Nostradamus tongue. And I said, Rakathon to the elders and apostles, Wahaki and Wahakwa. Until next time, I would say, Kum Yasharallah, and above all, Shalom.